Yeah, the Chinese T34-85, or, as others will get you to believe, a Type 58. But what is it? Is it a T34-85, just called something else? Or is it a distinctly different tank? Well, let's have a look, shall we, and see if there is any difference. Hello again everybody and welcome back to Fujitsu Blitz, and today we're going to look at the Type 58, a Chinese tank, a Chinese medium tank, a Chinese tier 6 medium tank, and basically a T34-85 in Chinese colours. Or is it? Now, in real terms, this tank did exist, yes. The Soviet Union gave China a load of T34-85s and eventually they decided to modify them. But nobody really knows what those modifications actually were, and eventually the Chinese dropped it anyway and carried on with just the bog standard T34-85. And it's generally argued in the historical circle that the changes that the Chinese made were more aesthetic, like a larger cupola, some changes to the rear plate and some transmission changes. So not many changes. So is it different to the T34-85? Or is it a T34-85? Now, Wargaming have made a few changes to differentiate the T34-85 and the Type 58. These changes are not massive. I mean, firstly, there's the armor. There is absolutely zero change on the armor, realistically. This is no different to a T34-85 on the Russian line. The major changes that they've made is that the penetration on the T58 is lower than the T34-85, and the DPM is higher. And the reload time is slightly faster. I mean, it's just over 6.5 seconds for the T58 and just under 7 seconds for the T34-85. So there aren't that major differences between the two. Now, I actually like this tank, but then again, I like the T34-85. But I like this tank because, like a T34-85, it plays a good role on a battlefield. It's got good DPM, guys, and it's got a really good reload, and the gun is rather good on it. Just like the T34-85. And okay, yes, it can be penned. Of course it can. Lots of people can pen it. I mean, it's not got the strongest armor in the world, but it's a good little tank. And like the Type 34 before it, which is another, basically the same as the Russian T34-76, once you get to grips with this tank and understand that, okay, it hasn't got the penetration of the T34-85, but that difference is negligible. I mean, the penetration on the T34-85 is 144. On this, it's 128. It's negligible, really. It's not a huge difference. So it's basically a T34-85, and you need to play it like a T34-85. And the difference between the two is that slightly faster reload. Your rate of fire on the T34-85 is 8.6 rounds a minute. In this, it's 9 rounds a minute. That is a big difference because, you know, both tanks dish out the same high alpha damage, which is 200. So when you're dishing out that extra half a second faster reload and faster rate of fire equates to almost 100 damage over the course of the game. Of course it does. That's why this tank is slightly better than the T34-85. Yet some people don't think that, and I don't understand why, because effectively it's the same tank, just a faster reload. And it's got 50 additional hit points. I mean, this tank's got 980 hit points, as you see there. The T34-85 has only got 930. So on paper, this is actually a better tank than the T34-85, which is the tank that it's based on. So I don't understand why some people moan about this tank, because I know people who moan about this tank but love the T34-85. And I don't understand why, because in strictest terms, this is better. It's okay, it's only marginally or slightly better, but it is a better tank. And I actually really like this tank. At first I didn't get on with it. I don't know why. Maybe it was my own prejudice because it's not a T34-85. But I like this tank. I think this is a nice little tank to go out in. I think it's a really good tank. And at tier 6, I think this is a nice little medium. And I think more people should go out in it. I think you should. I mean, this is a game that I played recently. And, okay, I've just over-talked another game where we did marginally okay. But this is what you can do with this tank in this game. And I love this game. Okay, we didn't do outstanding in it. But we're the lowest tier in this game. We're the lowest tier tank. And the E25 has asked for assistance because he's going to go through the base. So I said, yeah, okay, I'll cover your backside. So I'm trying to find some hard and soft cover. And, oh, look, there's a Jag Panther. So we can whack one into him. We get a nice roll, 185. Now we're seen. So I want to get the Jag Panther again if I can. And, yeah, we can. We get a nice 200 roll into him. There's a KV2 over there. There's a Sentinel over there. And there's the Jag Panther. Now, I've got cover around me. I know they're not going down to the right-hand side because you could see from the team makeup they were never going to do that. They were always going to go middle and left. So I can just sit here and try and help this E25 as much as I can. And there's a Tiger. Can we put one into him? Yes, we can. Get a nice engine fire. Get a good, real good roll on that Tiger. And this gun shouldn't be underestimated. It's a good gun. It's a good reload, it's very accurate, and it dishes out a good amount of damage. And this is what I like about this tank. You can have a lot of fun in this thing. You really can. And you just play it like a T34-85, and you get a bit more for your dollar. Oh, that sort of bounced, but hey, it happens. Like I said, pen value is a little bit lower than the T34-85, but we know the KV2's there. As long as we keep maneuvering between buildings, he's behind a building, he's not really going to give us more harm. The Jag Panther is now isolated. He's on his Todd. He's really aggressive for a TD. That allows me to get up there. He's a 2-shotter for me, but my mobility is pretty good. We can get round him and take him out pretty simply, and we do. Now we've got a KV2 that is also isolated, so let's get down there. He's focused on the Tiger, not me. We can do a nice roll into him. I've got a Tiger flanking on the right. I can flank round the back. We can pincer him, and hopefully we can get rid of this difficult tank. Oh, nice. We get a good engine fire again. 2 engine fires, same tank. It's very nice. Unfortunately, we lost the Tiger 1. But as you can see, I mean, it's a versatile tank on the battlefield. It's got great maneuverability and a good gun, and dishes out reasonable damage, and it's got reasonable armor. It's as simple as that. Now we can YOLO a bit here. We've got a Gravedigger left. We've got a lot of guns left on the battlefield. So let's go for the Gravedigger. Oh, bounced him. And this happens, unfortunately, always going to bounce a Gravedigger. He's not got massive high alpha rolls on me because he's a Gravedigger. I've got to stick Pramo in to really pen him. I'm trying to get that lower plate, but doesn't matter. Somebody else wipes him out anyway. And this is why I love this game, because it shows the versatility of this tank. It shows that this tank can do a really good role in the battlefield. Okay, like I said, didn't do exceptionally well. Got a 2nd class, did 1600 damage, but we had good fun. We were able to put the tank into positions where it was most effective. We used the mobility and we used the gun to the best of its effect. And that's why I love this tank. It's similar to a T34-85 and top tank again, from bottom tier to top tank. Always good. And that's why I like it. It's versatile. It can do a multi-role on the battlefield. And, okay, it is basically a slightly better T34-85. Yeah, for the purists out there, it's no different. But it is slightly. Here we are on Winter Melanovka. I like this map, and you know, we're trying to find out where everybody is. Now, I thought they'd be going down here, and I wasn't wrong. There's a scavenger, and we can stick one into him. Oh, we can't, because the gun depression is 7 degrees, which is pants, but it's same as the T34-85. And, you know, you get it slightly wrong, and you're going to be bouncing up and down all over the place. But that's the same problem you have in the T34-85. I mean, both tanks have got 7 degrees of gun depression, which, in realistic terms, is absolutely pants. But it's got a decent reload, and it's also got decent alpha. It's this, I mean, okay, the penetration, as I said earlier, is lower than the T34-85, but when you couple that with the reload timings, I mean, you don't care about the pen. I mean, I managed to pen the SU-100Y quite easily there. Got an eye alpha roll. Not a problem. Everything is good. You know, happy days. We can pen things. Why not? It's a dangerous tank and we can hit it, so it's not a problem. But the versatility of this tank is great. I mean, look at the maneuverability on this. You can maneuver it quite simply and quite well. It's got the same top speed as the T34-85. It's basically the same stat-wise. Like I said, the hit points are different, reload's different, alpha's different. But other than that, it's a T34-85. And everybody knows the T34-85 is a maneuverable tank. So if you like the T34-85, you should, in theory, love this tank. Because on paper, as I said, it's slightly better. So, well, let's go and get this SU-100Y. He's got his back turned, another eye alpha roll. I've got a good reload. I can hide and shoot. Beep and boom. Let's see if we can do that. Yes, we can. Oh, we got a bounce. That's not good. But, you know, I mean, it's not a big problem. He's trying to maneuver. He's going to be in a world of problems. He's fired. That's opened the door. We can now just rush him effectively and wipe him out. And we do. Now, you know, we're not winning this battle at the moment. We're 3 down. They're only 2 down. So we've still got some dangerous tanks out there. KV-2, SU-100, 88, and the VK. The VK's being aggressive, not been seen. Let's take him out. We're still not doing that well, really. I mean, all of a sudden, it's even Stevens. That's a horrible tank. Can't really pen him. Causes me a problem. Let's see if we can get the SU. No, we can't. He goes behind a house. So let's go behind a house too and see if we can pick these targets. Now, I just want to point out, the guy in the crew is played an exceptional game. I mean, we've been together almost all the way, and he's played really well. He's supported, and we've supported each other, and we've picked each other's targets. We really did play well, which is not surprising in a random game. It can happen. Sometimes you get paired up with a really good team, sometimes you don't. Now I'm going to have trouble with the 88. He's difficult for me to pen, so I'm going to give him the run around. I've got better maneuverability than he has. I'm trying to track him, can't get it. I sort of track him, but I sort of don't. But I can still give him the run around. And this is the idea. I'm going to make him work. Oh, get a nice little engine fire. Get a good roll. He now wants to get out of dodge and get after the Kuru. I can track him again. Hopefully the Kuru will knock him one. He does, which means all good. Everybody's gone. I love that battle. I mean, I really did. I mean, the Kuru and myself played off each other really well there. And we get 2,000 damage. We get a first class. And as you can see, myself and the Kuru were even Stevens, realistically. He played a really good game. And that's why I like this tank. It's versatile. It's a good little runner. And at tier 6, it's really good. And since playing this tank, it's opened my eyes a lot more to what this tank can do. And I fell in love with it after a while. I mean, I've played quite a few games in this. And don't get me wrong, these aren't all the best games. These are just the games that I like for some reason. And the battles I thought were interesting. And, you know, this tank is a nice tank. And, oh, okay, Gravedigger. Yeah, okay, I'm always going to struggle to pen it in this tank. But if you're going to show me his backside, maybe I can get something into him. Yes, I can. Because a Gravedigger's backside is just wide open. But you will struggle to pen it in this tank. You really will. It's a horrible tank to pen with normal ammo. I've switched to Pramo. Hopefully I can pen it with that. Let's get to that bottom. Oh, just can't get that lower plate. And that's what I'm aiming for, because everything else is just a big red tomato. Maybe, no, somebody else got him first. Okay, but that's a tank gone. Now I can see on the minimap that the Type 58 is pushing, and there's also, I saw earlier, an AMX there somewhere. And this is why I love this gun. I mean, we get a decent roll into that Type 58, and he's almost 300 meters away. Oh, the AMX has popped. Can we load before he puts one into us? No, but we can bounce one, then put one into him. It's basically a T34-85, so it's got that freaky Russian armor that will bounce things. I mean, don't get me wrong, it may have lower armor than most tanks at tier 6, but it's got this funky Russian angling stuff. Now the SU-152, unfortunately we couldn't get there in time. We were heading that way to help him out, but he had 2 tanks on him who were relatively good. He was always going to not last much longer. We get a nice one into the AMX. Worried about the T58. I mean, maybe the Type 58, we can get one into him. Let's back behind this rock and see what we can do. And yep, we can get a nice roll into the Type 58. Now, he's not really focused on us, so maybe we can finish off the AMX. He's a two-shotter for us. Get a nice roll into him. Maybe we should go down. Nah, let's go up. He's not focused either. He's looking somewhere else. We can get a nice roll into him. Now we can focus on the Type 58. We are equal tank, but he's got lower hit points. Oh, we get a good roll of 221 into him because, you know, I don't know why we got such a good roll, but we did. And we can finally waste him. Now there are 2 tanks left, and we've done pretty well. We've had a good brawl. We're 2 kills. We've been around the map, but we're losing on base points. We can see that it is supremacy. So let's cap a base. You could argue I should go in and waste the Tiger 1, but I'd rather cap the base to make sure. I mean, look at them; they're only on 800 on 800 points already. We are behind on points. We need a base. Once we get the base, then I'll be happier. Let's go and find the ISU. Oh, there he is. The SU is stuck. He is stuck. He's not AFK. He's doing his best to try and move out of his really poor position. Okay, I get lucky here because it's an easy target. But you do have to have the luck in this game on occasion. And, you know, I feel sorry for him. He's not AFK. And at the end of the day, we do 2,200 damage. We have a good game. It's, you know, and this is why I love this tank. You can stick it in the thick of the action. We get a first class. And you can have fun in it. And you get some decent credits, 52,000. That's pretty good. It's a good little credit grinder. And we're top tank again. Because this tank has the ability to do that. It has the ability to go from bottom tier to top tier. And that's why I'm now loving this tank. So, I mean, this is the last game. I'm not going to show you all the game because there's no point. I mean, we've already seen quite a few games in the Type 58. But there are some parts of this game which I really did like. And it does highlight how effective this tank can be. And I can't underestimate this. I mean, I now love this tank. And if you've got this tank, or you're thinking of not getting this tank, get it. Because it's a really nice tank to go out in. You can have a lot of fun in this tank. It's unbelievably versatile. I mean, you know, that was a snapshot on a scavenger. It got lucky there. Now, the reason I like this particular game, and I only want to show you for this next point, is because this tank has the ability to do certain things that you wouldn't have thought of. So we've got a scavenger, we can take some out of him, and we've got a leopard. I know there's an M4 over there. Let's get amongst them. Let's brawl a bit. Let's have a bit of fun. Take out the scavenger, getting dumped by the T34 and the M4. Stick it in front of the Leo. Leo can't get you. Wipe the Leo out. Then stick it in front of the Leo again. Bounce 470. Taken 2 tanks out effectively. And wow, had a whale of a time. And this is why I love this tank, because you can have a lot of fun in it. You really, really can. And in some situations, you can be a bully, like I've just proved. And you will bounce. I mean, we bounced 470 there, done 953 damage. That was good fun. Guys, I cannot overestimate the value of this tank. It is a really nice tank to get. So, if you're thinking about it, get it. You will have fun in it eventually. Trust me on that. That's it for now, guys. I mean, I hope you enjoyed this. I hope it's been informative. As I say all the time, I'm not the best player in Blitz. I'm an average player, but I have fun, and that's the name of the game. And maybe you've learned a few things from this. Maybe you're going to give the Type 58 a second look. I hope so. And with that in mind, I'm going to now leave you with the kills that just happened on Temple, because I love this gameplay. I'm not saying it's the best gameplay. I just love it. I think it just shows how great this tank can be. Guys, as I say always, I'd love to hear your comments. I'd love to get your replays. By all means, comment below. Please press subscribe. And please, if you want to see your replays, get them to me at fujitsblitz@gmail.com, because I love showing people your replays. Until the next time, I'll leave you with this. And stay safe out there. Have fun on the battlefield, and happy tanking. Hey, I've been Fujit and you've been great. I really hope you enjoyed watching this video as much as I enjoyed making it, and I'd love if you would press subscribe. Who knows, we can do some more. By all means, drop me comments, tell me what can be improved, and tell me what you'd like to see. I really love to know. Anyway, until the next time guys, happy tanking.